Let's say Wukuma says anti-Kotokoi, and they said, yeah, and you may AC Airquay. Now, no, open source IMC and Kotokoso. Now, no, na if you are true, say, or say Kotokoina a board, a regulation by the Ghana Football Association, and of course, that the club license and a BEM say, or say club be a board. As of now, Kotoko continue produce a board for the team. IMC Nana Airrane. As a former management member of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, the way a Kotoko say, yeah, running me. The point so I don't know, and I said, "Who foot to be out the Bema IMC and I said penny for regarding how it must be run."
I was a fan person with starting.
Me person. No, starting free protocol. How it is being run now, and the umuni a year board now. No, shall say free home.
I thought that board at 7 now, so you drew club license because I wanted to generalize it.
Generalize it.
Say the reason why a club needs to have a board.
Board, okay.
To conform to the FA's regulations.
Okay.
Because the FA's regulations are clear. All clubs are supposed to be registered as limited liability companies.
Yeah.
Under the Companies Act.
Okay.
Act 992. Which is the current one. It used to be Act 1963, but it's now Act 992.
Okay.
They are supposed to be registered. If you are registered as a limited liability company, the regulations of the club, as per the World Companies House registry, requires you to have a board.
Okay.
Every limited liability company has to have a board. And if you are not conforming to the terms of your registration with the Companies Act, you cannot be conforming to the FA regulation. FA regulation is that you need to be a limited liability company.
Okay.
The limited liability company, the reason why FA wanted you to be a limited liability company is that he wants the club to be run in a particular way.
Okay.
So as I say. And so the regulations require, the company's regulations also requires you to have a board and hold annual general meetings.
Okay.
So basically, say only board that it means you are not conforming to the terms of the Companies Act. Which also means that you are not conforming to the FA's regulations.
Okay.
And so that's the only thing I can say about the board. And it's not peculiar to only Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And so in the next licensing period,
okay,
the FA has access to make sure we impose, making sure say all the regulations, the club licensing regulations are respected.
Okay.
So this one is not about Kumasi Asante. They are just throwing it out.
Okay. That
a club doesn't qualify to play in the Premier League if it doesn't conform to the FA's regulations.
So, for instance, Sekotoko, a board from now. No, I know.
That's why
you are generalizing.
Club licensing board, we normally talk in general terms. You don't pick on a particular club.
So, if any club feels to say we need a board for next season, there will be a sanction.
Probably they won't play in the Premier League.
Board to say
see any club that doesn't have a board, and as at the time they apply to play in the 2024-2025 Premier League, will not be given a license to play.
Grace period.
There's nothing like a grace period. You know the rules. You know that's why we are saying it now. For instance, another one: all clubs are supposed to have a youth team.
Yeah. A
registered youth team, not just on paper. They should have been, the players of the youth team should have been registered with the FA in the FIFA Connect system.
Wow. To
qualify to be a Premier League club. This year, a few Premier League clubs might qualify to be in the Premier League, but they might not have a license to play in the Premier League.
How?
They qualify on sporting merit. He wasn't relegated at the end of the season.
Okay.
Or he was promoted from Division 1 to Premier. But he couldn't meet the club licensing regulations. And he cannot play in the Premier League.
What becomes of that club?
I know they are between you and the FA. Yeah, because you don't have a license to play in a competition. How do you play?
But why are you starting it now? Because these are regulations.
No, it's been there. It's been there, and I'm saying this.
But more enforcing from next season.
No, you see, it is something that will be helping the clubs. Licensing and regulation is not always about punishing people for not doing the right thing. you also motivate you to do the right thing. And so the approach we've taken over the years is that let's encourage. The last board I got over for me, it was on the promptings of the club licensing board. I had fined them, so that at that time we were imposing stiff punishment.
Okay.
Which was not the same as withdrawing the license.
Okay.
We were giving them financial monetary punishments. And we are fining Kumasi Asante Koro, for instance, about 20,000 Ghana cedis for not having a board. And we had indicated that if by a certain time frame they have not, the fine increases to 50,000 Ghana. And would have continued increasing it. And you know, when a fine is imposed, next when within the time frame, FA regulations, other clubs will you protest. And quickly, they did that. So it is not new. This time round, the FA has access to implement the laws and do away with the monetary fines. It's either you have the license or you don't have the license.
Wow.
It's either you've done what the regulations say, license, and also when you're in your regulations, license.
Wow.
So I don't want to pick on Kumasi Asante Koro. Or there, and it's not only about board that can stop you from
not playing. Other
including not paying the SNIT contributions of your players. And not having a tax clearance certificate.
Okay.
Not paying your tax. These are all on the books. Previously, we used to fine them.
Okay.
But you realize over time, fine, and CAF has also insisted, said they want to review now, because so now this is where it becomes interesting. The reason why imperative say about implementing the laws as contained in the club licensing regulations, because first near perceive Baah clubs gradually.
Okay.
Now club licensing a movie away from the paperwork onto a CAF licensing online platform.
Okay.
Meaning say information be a club be other submitting, the day of the submitting, the CAF has a copy. So CAF, they say the CAF na tracking information.
They need to
the club been submitting a board information on the board. Now when to submit your CAF in say one submit. And by the CAF regulations, it's a category A, criteria A.
Yeah.
Meaning says a 1 year or in this year more license. Like the youth team one, you need to have a youth team. At least one youth team.
Yeah.
Either under 17 or under 15 or registered in the FIFA Connect system. You can't say for that information, a share system, unyamaye and ameba. Where nyama is, so a calf in him say where nyama. And you never Kwame Baah. And I maybe catch the calf for us where nyama so until I was here. Still, I was here the license near day. Emmanuel. Because the system has changed. Last year they introduced you the online platform, but then you're mandatory by CAF.
Okay.
Now at that time, Ghana, any one of the few countries experimenting with the online platform.
I remember Baah my deal.
Exactly. Several African countries way behind Ghana on that. CAF were commending severally for adopting that for our Premier League. However, because it was not mandatory, now CAF and take it seriously these infractions.
Yeah.
CAF how you dealing with clubs are only board. You dealing with clubs are no meeting regulations, which was a monetary fine. But now CAF is saying this year,
okay,
all African FAs should use the online platform for at least their topmost league.
Okay.
So in Ghana, our topmost league is the Premier League.
Okay.
CAF say the online platform is mandatory, compulsory say we use, which also means any requirement in the system has to be met.
But dog, not just say it's likely say next season yentimi more 18 club league or Ghana.
And I maybe a confubone no share san come no clubs no be determine say about 18 club league and I see about 15 club league, and I see about 12 club league. And yet, club licensing board they determine. You musu, and then mobile, and they determine whether you about 13 club league, 14 club league. Maybe cry about why, best setting the right examples. Among for ways, clubs need to be hard. In actual fact, they are not really clubs in the pure sense.
Yeah, how?
I mean, financial resources are more your Premier League club anything.
Okay.
So what I say, you need the resources to be a club. You need to pay people. What signing contracts? You need to be able to meet your contractual obligations. If you can't do that, then you don't have a reason to exist. Exactly. Emirates say clubs reviews were started. Ghana Obia person or chairman. Obia person or chairman. Obia person or part owner of a football club. And even when we need resources now, they be running a Premier League club. Or see a friend the chairman and now owner. It's time I should say umbeki kamu boom. Yenya bigger war resource clubs in Ghana. Instead of pretending see 18 Premier League clubs. Maybe in actual fact we have only about 12. That can be called real Premier League. Because some of them are 30 documents on Modeba. We share the way they run their affairs. And some of them are really not Premier League.
There are 12 Premier League clubs.
Probably.
Good standing.
Good standing. Which of them is in a proper Premier League club?
But Doc, because I know say one of the requirements I also meeting for next season, the formation of women teams.
Exactly.
And also I'm saying.
No. You see, even for the youth side, now CAF standard was that either you own a youth team
or you
adopt one. The FA okay, let me. And your club licensing board and the club licensing regulations.
Okay.
The FA, Executive Council of the FA, and this Congress.
Okay.
And the club licensing
regulations. Okay.
Club licensing board, your only job is whether regulations as developed by
the ESCO,
which was appointed by who? The clubs, no?
Yeah.
Omumra na omudi ato on omudi.
Okay.
Enti nye mra e na ye hihye. Okay. So CAF Imran was that you can either own a club, a youth team, or adopt one. You can either own a women's team or adopt one. For clubs that are playing in CAF competitions, you need to show this. And the CAF, so when to me and show, say either you have a women's team or you have adopted one, you can't play in the CAF Confederations Cup or the Champions League.
Yeah.
And so that one last year, the clubs no more they showed evidence.
Adoption.
Yes, very adoption. Now the FA, no, not CAF.
Okay.
The FA itself is saying, from this coming season, the club will be and they are not going to allow the adoption for the youth team.
Okay.
Not the women's team.
Okay.
I'm sure the women's team that they can continue to adopt.
Okay.
But for the youth team, it's ownership.
You have to own the youth team.
Maybe I know something what it says some clubs be as 30 years justify inclusion for youth team.
Justify.
Almost justify. Because if they don't own a youth team, the FA's Executive Council and Congress is saying we shouldn't give them a license to play in the Premier League. And yet, Kwame Nuako, any maybe Samano, any my bones with any other members of the committee, Yenny Ashisha Samra. Yeah, Jumani say, I also dim Rasu.
Okay.
They say also to snake contributions for your players. There's and the developing how you show evidence. You need a letter from SNET.
Okay.
Indicating that these members of this football club are registered with SNET.
Okay.
And the club is up to date. As at the time I will apply for the license. If you can't show that evidence, then you are not doing that. Club license in Random it be out to me impose fine.
Okay.
Some of the criteria. And then you went to me and meet here who thrown out of the league.
Okay.
So that you have license approved with sanctions, or license rejected.
Okay.
These are the three things a club licensing board license approved.
Okay.
Means say only pakro need
The who's
license approved with sanctions.
so check a
Kakrabeta or license rejected. Meanwhile, there are some criteria. We don't have an option. So as I said, they say youth team there marking, and they say also board, and I say audited financial statement, and I say a coach with a
license A coach.
There are some of them. So we near the only outcome and yet not approved sanctions is rejected.
But all rejected
there's an appeal. Yes.
Mm.
So now can be man with the CAF Confederations and Champions League process. Now can be man dates be.
Okay.
It will give you an idea. The deadline for Ghana to ensure say all the clubs are Cobo Africa next year. And your license. There's a difference between qualify.
Okay.
This woman license.
Okay.
Who bet me I qualify only the FA champion. And now we need league.
The league, you know.
But we need license to play in Confederations Cup or the Champions because you didn't meet
the regulation as a requirement.
It drew say FA no was so submitting in crop for Mukoba Africa now. Obe submitting your winning league, no submitting the
FA Cup winner.
Na CAF actually say FA Cup winner will need license because the license ends on 30th of June this year.
30th of June this year.
Ebia by that time no Krana league no ebia umonwie. And I say FA Cup no monwie. Into the processes. Omama ye permission, be a platform. Almost say now, you decide the clubs are be invite you more apply. And to be position is for Champions League now, you invite Ghanaian Premier League club be say apply for a license. One other bottom cry be about the defense. And I say, omuda wanyim no nyina no, omunya CAF license. And even though na oda 14th no, open our license. Over Champions League and also over Confederations Cup. And the NBA Premier League club we are apply. For the Confederations Cup, the NBA team be out drew semi-final be and so apply.
4 teams,
4 teams more apply to play. Ebia by the time I be you're winning license because you be how it so when your license now also apply una di second one apply also to me nko na bia obi a you free mu semi final or apply onyae edru ha the decision is for the FA to decide say the top 2 no any license it you do mudini kwa ya waste the slot and then the 3rd place team no enye the enko on all licenses and until now, ye open platform no. Ama all the clubs are boom.
For the 30th, I'm open.
Dabi, 30th there's a night temperature. 23rd, Menoka say on the 23rd of May.
23rd of May.
CAF organizing CAF club licensing workshop for elite clubs in Ghana. And the reason is that CAF is organizing a licensing workshop for about 15 countries Ghana from Monday.
Yeah.
Yes, Ghana.
Okay.
CAF the club licensing board chairman.
Okay.
The club licensing board appeals committee chairman.
Okay.
And the club licensing manager of each of these 15 countries. Yeah, make me the names now. They are coming to Ghana, including Egypt, Ghana, Egypt, Nigeria, Liberia, Gambia. We have full list.
Okay.
Omunyina about Ghana this weekend
for the workshop.
The workshop no started on Monday.
Okay.
On the 23rd, Ombeye workshop ama all Premier League clubs in Ghana.
In Ghana, okay.
Yes.
23rd, okay.
After that, you be used as a training for how the clubs will apply for the CAF competition.
Okay. Besides training their clubs.
Yeah, so workshop no be training Premier League clubs, club licensing managers,
okay,
on how to apply for the CAF inter-club competitions. And the deadline for Ghanaian clubs to make sure so must submit your details in our CAF online platform is the 19th of June. By 19th of June, now I apply for CAF interclubs. It is a now we Dreams FC now we bought your friends saying FA Cup final. Oh yeah, was it before
Kwame
so at many Dreams FC I'll still apply. Many the other team now
Lagos City
means so I apply.
Okay.
Because you are applying for a license with the hope say you see your friends three more days say substitute player.
Aye.
Or to bench or bumpire say your body name
reserve player.
Or they not it now be reserve player. Now to now train before can so atreman.
But say CAF we say so o me produce credible.
O mo say
that your competition dey obey winning there so
now winning but you are not running your club
well
as a football.
But I won.
No, that's the point I made earlier. That you might win a Ghanaian league, but you are not really a football club.
Wow.
The licensing is to test whether you are a football club. You are running your club as a football club. So I just say, and you know I win a FA Cup, but players won't you muka. One I didn't say Marco Confederations Cup. Won't you more taxes or more Senate contributions? Won't you?
Only you
team coaches ground to your did you muka. I didn't know say Marco Confederations Cup. That's the essence of the club licensing process. Now the fact that you win on sporting merit doesn't make you qualified to play in the Champions League.
But not in a club licensing regulation application. Yeah, apply in the league and the FA Cup from the onset.
We do.
So that you be say
we do.
We need a youth club, then I don't play and get to the semi-final stage.
That's the reason why we are saying say when you're Premier League club, so won't even take a Premier League slot or FA Cup.
David.
Until you see from the next soccer season. So we need the right structures. Yeah, my own Premier League. One more Premier League, I will qualify for Champions League. So that's where we are starting.
Okay, but young Kumbium, because I mean, said last year and the beginning of the season, more for the freeway, more use other venues we are. Then yeah, okay. Meaning said for the committee there, more inspection now.
Okay, so
now
I need to explain again. Let me explain the other time.
Yeah.
Said for this current football season, CAF, the same online platform system now we introduce here.
Yeah.
I want the deficiencies.
Okay.
Now your core training, if I was it Angola and I said, you're quite Tanzania. I raised the issue with them. So the way they are applying it will create problems for a lot of FAs. And I'll explain.
Okay.
So previously, stadium infrastructure, the maintenance and the quality was part of the club licensing system.
Okay.
That if you don't have a stadium that befits your league, you can be disqualified from playing the league.
Okay.
So what I say. And the club licensing board and a share to make sure say venue we during the course of the season say deteriorate here. We have the power to say I withdraw the license for the venue.
Okay.
Now it's no longer venues now are no longer licensed.
Okay.
They are categorized. So CAF introduced you say, for instance, omu of 4 categories of stadium. Category 1, category 2, 3, 4.
4, okay.
Category 4 venues per and it will host the Champions League final and the semi-final.
Champions League final.
CAF Champions League Confederations Cup final. And they can also host the finals of the African Cup of Nations tournament.
That is 4, no?
Category 4. Category 3, everything are hosting World Cup qualifiers.
Okay.
The group stages and the quarter-finals of the Champions League and the Confederations Cup. But it cannot host the semi-finals and the finals of the Champions League and those things. That is why people were worried, say, if Dreams FC had qualified for the Champions League final, in Ghana, do we have a category 4 venue?
And the answer is no.
The answer is no. But luckily, Kumasi Sports Stadium was given category 3 status.
Okay.
But since then, there has been continual improvement.
Okay.
So we had a belief, say, CAF would have had to come for another inspection to determine whether now it is at category 4 level. So over a Premier League, CAF now, by using a club online platform, wants us to do the same thing about categorization. So venue will be categorized as a category 2, 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Okay.
GFA they will say yes sir.
Okay.
We should have our own categorization system. Then we say only category 4 venues by our own system.
No?
And they bet me a host Premier League matches.
Okay.
And category 3 probably it can host Division 1, but it cannot host Premier
League. Okay.
So venue be a 100 and be a category 2. And a category 2 venue, it cannot host a Division 1 match. It cannot hold a Premier League match.
I get your point now.
But they've taken that power away from the club licensing board and given it to the club licensing manager.
Okay.
Who should do the categorization and determine where is Kumasi Sports Stadium? Is it category 4? Where is Pando Stadium? Is it category 2? Where is... So at the end of the day, club licensing board has no role in determining whether pitch now whether it should be used for Premier or it should now be coast matches now.
So now your responsibility is on the vetting of the license application of clubs to ensure compliance with legal, administrative, finance, technical, medical, security requirements of the provision of the GFA statutes.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, but that's the problem we have now. Recently, FA president sent him a picture of a venue. Division 1 match was so but the point is, I was powerless. I don't have a power because I don't know what category you granted not to. Say categorization at the beginning of last season. We know said that venue shouldn't have been given category. But sometimes this is the real challenge. And I at the beginning of the season, every pitch in good playing condition.
Because
inspection.
Because home inspection.
Inspection to be a pitch. The real problem is monitoring to make sure self venue. And me at the beginning of the season, me orientation for your match commissioners.
Okay.
They be catch up so much on Ghana football and course.
Match commissioners.
The match commissioners.
The rule and
referees. On the match commissioners report, on the referees report, they are supposed to indicate whether the venue is good enough for the match. Report. The same brofu. The grass was well cut. Good. Match commissioner now commission match. They say pitch okay. Who am I to sit in Accra and say pitch okay?
But they didn't know Bekona pitching in your
the field
was well
from leader association from paying for a phone better. Now what they are supposed to report on and what they actually say in the reports. One of the things we were expecting was a match commissioner will cover you one day. No, I catch some pitch way in your Premier League
page.
To me more match.
Match
commissioner when I was I could do. Referee say pitch ni okay. Match commissioner say pitch okay. Was it me say pitch no. Was I there?
Wow.
On the day of the match, my passing pitch, for almost the past 2 months. Ball matches. It is a match commissioner and report. It's a part pitch na say. How would the club licensing board know say pitch na say? And I was share every match. Exactly my point. So many orientation every year. Some of them disagree with me, but I tell them say one of the problems. If they have been bold to say pitch way and you're good, maybe this match but I'm putting in my report say the competitions department should not allow this pitch to be used for Premier League matches. Competitions department on money basis, they will make a case to the club licensing manager. Said the match commissioner for the last match here born of Golden City Park. Say park editorial is no longer Premier League standards. Then there's a basis for whatever sanctions a club licensing manager be imposed. And here the club licensing manager so monitor. How would he monitor? If the people involved in the game don't want to, person back on the Your my commissioner call. Was it a pitch? I say I was saying KF Prosper more faxi or scanning one copy of a match commissioner. Can be reading no ha. Young boy pakro no match the kind of things they write.
The same brofo.
As omunyina omuko the same school. The pitch was in good conditions. The grass was well cut. You are parking grass in this. That's what I say is well cut. Me GMPC. Me na me who say Rekum Golden City Park no editorial. Me come adwuma. Me yeah alliance me my alliances in we no. Me focus on adwuma. I'm waiting for the club licensing manager to come and tell me say venue be quality no call for. Even that was the time and license. Okay. That's what we were waiting for. Maybe a match commissioner report, referee be a friend. So I say, wash a match in or start times, and one who say, pitch ready. That's the only way we can get information to take decisions. Now you didn't call say match coordinator, match commissioner, referee. They are all agents of the FA, but they are not saying say pitch in ya. How would the club licensing manager know say pitch in ya?
But the club licensing manager also so apart from inspection, no, or not so when you
apart from inspection, the club licensing is not just about the infrastructure. Finance,
legal.
During the course of the season, he's checking. Among for the coaching certificates, but what about Kwame technical directory? Yes, he fake. And all those things are the type of things the club licensing manager is supposed to do. But enough resources, he should be doing the monitoring on his own, or probably with the team. So this is the solution. Last week I had was it this week? Probably this week. FA president. We had a meeting to discuss these concerns.
Okay.
And we've come to the conclusion that when it comes to Ghana, we cannot just leave it to the club licensing manager and want to determine whether a venue is fit or not.
Okay.
He will still have to use the club licensing board in some way. So if it means to amend regulations to still allow the club license manager will lead.
Okay.
But our group of experts or money inspecting venues. Over the bar, you have a club licensing board, meeting, and decide whether who's a Ghana, especially in Africa. See, I can't say decision when you pop back home and they take care. Pressure about corners. Enough. But see, I say club licensing board they take. I mean, clubs, we take a decision. Yeah, luckily for the past 4 or 5 years, we'll be unchallenging me. I appeal me decision that. So I just because we make sure that we are fair. But then me impose sanctions so a club be able to offer from a friend. Maybe I'm a fair club licensing manager.
But also you're difficult, though.
Me difficult. Me very soft.
Then also
then you make us me impose sanctions on places and can also me deny license. Me difficult.
But then you so mu kasa break, patch your break.
Oh, now say Emrano daho and that's why I keep repeating. Nyamna me Emrano. Clubs in the Emra. Me ya wouldn't AC.
Debbie.
Obia fu say ne Yonko Park enye. Tio. Ne ono say ya allow ma the pitch pass or call another venue or be complaining to club licensing for say baby I'm call in the park in Tio.
Yeah.
Obia fu say ne Yonko Park enye.
Okay.
Obia fu say ne Yonko security systems enye. But no dear. Okay. And your crown or something allow. How does that work?
But don't
you say the Kotoko call the complaining park? And I ever said Brekum Chelsea I called them over complaining about the park.
Yeah.
But on the park and so yet. But
the
would but Brekum there was something allow no man. I'm too some because was my closing down being too difficult. But I mean closing the wood. So that's how the class behave. And so you as a chairman and your members, you take a position. You need to be fair to everyone. The same standard now apply to everybody. And it's a whole sanction because I had to change. I also sanction. You don't pick and choose one person because me as a supporter. I'm one of their problems.
But dog. And yeah, it's why you fair to the match commissioners because or no as a commissioner, the duty on the match day is a of a commission game,
Yes.
What you say?
Yes, but
because when you expect when it comes to grass, whether it's playable or not playable. It is a club license and among the license set Ham Yanko Boah. Who is he to say, say, grass, you die, when you expect to grass?
No, that's a make you say, also, would you form, no? Omu school no mu koye no. Omu train no mu koye no. I see one commenting on the quality of the pitch, whether the pitch was suitable for the game.
Okay.
Now see if we so need the knowledge to know whether a pitch is suitable for a game, can see comment on it. That's the commissioning you are doing. Okay. Your job is to make sure that everything required to make the game come on is provided. That's why it's a match commissioner to be decided. Say, me this number of security. Me match no shasi. He has the power to do that. So what I say.
Okay.
It is all corners a pitch, you know. So any the conditioner. Yet me bo Premier League match was. Now me what have you done?
So next season, then you're expecting because of this one.
That's how your orientation, you know. And I make every year me orientation for match commissioners. Before they need to understand what we expect of them.
But what you before I fan describe it how the park no.
Brofu do no better brofu because or call park no so brofu are better depending on your me kind well cut. You me well cut na ya na.
And then brofu fan kind.
Me well cut in the having.
That's a well cut.
It's suitable no having. Those two words. The pitch is in good condition.
Well cut.
Well cut. I'm being tough on them because we are all looking to improve the game.
Yeah.
So what I say, we are all trying to improve the game. And see, I beg you. I mean, these are the issues.
Okay. Dog, my next question is: next season, what type of Ghana Premier League should we expect? Because be sure said,
I hope Seb may deny Class 3 license. Try and cancel say, my coach bribe or baby into me say club with me man.
Dabi. Yeah, in Casa.
Media for no come.
Oh, dog, yeah, no one call me. And yeah, no
one. Ma, young, Casa Club A. One meeting club license. And this year, won't be more Premier League. Oh, I bet now, I bet you how I knew Rana Boca, a triangle for salary, a cotton bars. I had the end, now Kwame Bani, I couldn't lean and Crawford to Omun.
But dog,
team that.
The whole year do an tea the Ghana for Becca.
May tell the rule most play.
But if you are going by the ethics and the professional
standards, I'll do it. I'm just saying, say most boy instead of focusing on one Pacrono and Yama a car wabon, focus on other people are also a normal game. No? Players are on to your mukano. Our living condition. Office crowd only be or run a car from the car boot.
Office no.
The office no, club no, running on the car boot. And then kick home. I know they won't come because we're done for no. Once a while, it's any already you say, I chamu near the Nedin Komoka cried to obey a down for. And the account the NS account. Now, by your who campaign, who crusade. Maybe some man of what football team that. When we require a first year football team.
And the hue and cry of Ghanaians and so intimate Mamun pay for me as. To be frank, you know, I say clubs is a bit too difficult. So they what they do.
Now be too difficult. How is it that
maybe your members?
Oh no.
Maybe say two the good so be soon.
Dog
tea omo.
Oh, I know a friend dog what in your muka I am baby to muda. No, I send me pictures. Dog one venue maybe it's not me new. There's no reporter that FHS pitch and your papa. Referee kind, referee says it's suitable condition. It's well cut and match commissioner say well cut. Match coordinator say well cut. What's the mean trying crying? Man come match nibi and cast a pitch in here. Is that not what you're asking me to do? Exactly. And how is that possible?
And in next season, you be who saying you be who a very sizable number of Premier League clubs playing professionally. I will move by the standard.
And then league matches in a born only about 6 venues.
6 venues.
Yeah, the whole country.
They say he found
Cote d'Ivoire did it until so almost stadia for African Cup of Nations. All Premier League matches 3 venues. Scheduling. It be artificial pitch. It be born Monday, no be born Tuesday. We are no be born matches here more.
Enti no man 6 venues na ka fi say ka Ghana ye boy anke.
O me anya me na me be kan say no obi abeka kire me say me tan no. Edru ha license na be kire whether venue. Me see me nya ya.
But what's scanning through the clubs?
And you see, venues no be about 6 pe bi na.
E be tina qualify.